Go to the line in a second and talk to independent MHA Paul Lane. You'll remember that Paul wrote Premier Ball in July asking him to set the AG loose on Nalcor to look specifically at their management and board structure, payment, upper-level management, review bonuses, and a number of other issues. Paul Lane didn't hear back from the Premier, to the best of my knowledge, so he wrote Terry Padden himself directly. Terry, of course, is the Auditor General, and Paul is with us. Paul, any updates on your activity related to this?
Good morning, Tim. How are you this morning?
Why, well, it's the sun starting to come out, so I'm a bit better. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. Couldn't be better. Tim, as you just indicated, back on the 6th of July, I believe it was, or the 5th, one of it, I did write the Premier because I was of the impression that in order to basically have the Auditor General to take a look at Nalcor or any other agency for that matter, I was of the impression that it would be really the Premier and the government that would make these, I guess, recommendations. So I did write him. I still haven't received a response, so that's, I guess, about 6 weeks or 7 weeks have gone by. No response. So I took it on myself to contact the Auditor General's office, and I did speak to the Deputy Auditor General and asked how the process would work. And I was informed that they do not require any direction from government whatsoever, that they operate independently and that they can go into any government entity that they see fit to do an audit. So I then asked, well, how does that work? And basically I was told that they'll get together once a year and throw out some suggestions, look at places they've been, places they haven't been, look at any areas where there may have been some concerns raised, so on, and I guess make that decision. And so I asked about Nalcor. I was told that absolutely Nalcor could be looked at by them, that they haven't been to Nalcor in a long time, and that I should write the Auditor General and make that recommendation, which I've done. And I guess the other part that I was told is that I said, well, it's fine for me to write the Auditor General, but you're just going to act just because I send a letter? And they said no, but basically the more people that have concerns around any entity, I guess that would weigh heavily in the decision as to where they go. So,
is that right? That's interesting. That the argument the Auditor General is making to you, or the office is making to you, if there's more of a public outcry about an issue, they're more likely to look into it?
That's what I was told, is that if they had received, I guess, the more complaints they receive and from people about a particular entity raising concerns, then that would certainly raise the likelihood that they would go in. So with that in mind, what I'm calling upon people to do now is for everybody to either write or email the Auditor General's office and request a review of Nalcor. Certainly, I believe that people have many, many concerns, whether it be all the overruns and delays at Muskrat, whether it be the allegations made by a former chair of the board around potential conflicts of interest, whether it be the Liberty Report, which revealed that they couldn't keep the lights on because they weren't even doing maintenance, basic maintenance on equipment, and the issues around the former CEO and I guess his departure. There are so many issues around Nalcor. They seem to operate totally autonomously. There seems to be little to no oversight taking place, and I think it's time to open the books and clear the air once and for all, so people can once again have confidence in an entity which is really supposed to be our future.
A couple of questions. First one, you mentioned there that they, I assume being the Auditor General, will meet at some point during the year to determine what they might look into. Any sense when that meeting or that discussion will happen? Did they give you any sense of that?
I never got an exact time, but I believe that, and I don't want to misquote anybody, but the impression I got was now when the summer's over and sometime now in the fall they'll get together and throw out ideas. That's the way it was explained to me, is that basically the staff get together and they sort of throw out ideas of what we'll do this year. And like I said, they'll look at where have they been, where haven't they been, are there any areas that they might have concerns or the people have raised concerns and so on, and they'll make that decision. So one of the issues, of course, was that another issue was, to take Nalcor in its entirety and to look at every single issue and everything they've done
that would be
may not be realistic. But what I have suggested in my letter, at least, is that let's do a multi-year plan. Let's look at different aspects each year and do it over multiple years, so we can get to the bottom of some of these issues and concerns. If there was ever a government entity that people have concern about, I believe it's Nalcor, and they're literally spending billions of our tax dollars.
How did you come to this place, Paul? Because your political journey is interesting. We've talked about that before. You were part of the government that was very supportive. Even the Liberal government initially was supportive of this. How did you get to this place?
Well, quite frankly, I really lost faith, if you will, in Nalcor after Dark NL. That was really a wake-up call for me. And when they couldn't even keep the lights on, and then, of course, the Liberty Report that came out showing that they weren't even doing maintenance on the equipment, which to me, spoke of total incompetence to my mind. I have no other explanation for it. I mean, if you were operating any kind of a private company and your mandate was to supply power, and then you find out that the lights go out because there was no maintenance done, that you'd really have to scratch your head. And then, of course, the fact that even after that happened, there was full bonuses paid out to the executive, which was, again, another eye-opener to me. And then, of course, in recent times, we've heard about all the issues around, the overruns and delays, and now we're finding out just in the media the other day that apparently that because of false assumptions apparently that were made, that even with Muskrat online, that we could still end up in the dark prior to Muskrat and even after Muskrat. And of course the issues that were raised by the former board chair talking about conflicts of interest that have occurred. And so, there's just been so many things that have revealed themselves over the last number of months, and it certainly has destroyed any confidence that I had, and I believe most Newfoundlanders and Labradorians feel the same way.
Although interesting still, as you know, because I'm sure you used to get briefed on these public opinion polls as it relates to the project, and it's important to make that distinction, still believe in the project. One last question for you, because I'm fascinated to know, you've been an independent now for a little while. How is it going, and how do you go about picking issues like this one to speak on? What's driving your thinking there, and how has it been as an independent?
Well, it's been absolutely liberating as an independent, to be quite honest with you. You don't have to toe any party line whatsoever. The only concerns that you have are the people's concerns, the people who are bringing issues to you. In terms of picking issues, obviously there are many issues out there, but this particular issue, when you consider, all the things that I guess just listed off, all of the concerns, all the money that's being spent, and the public outcry about that, I think this is a very, important issue, and it's an issue that numerous people have come to me about, and since I've sort of put it out there, I'm getting tons of people who are contacting me by email, by Facebook, by phone call, whatever, encouraging me to continue down this road. And I've actually continued now to get people who are contacting me, telling me that they've actually contacted the Auditor General's office, that they're following the lead on doing that, because it's obviously something that people have a major concern about. And one of the final points I'd like to make,
I got to go earn some money with a commercial, so you got 20 seconds.
Okay. The final point I'd like to make is that the Auditor General's office is operating anyway. If they weren't investigating Nalcor, they'd be just looking at something else. So for anyone who says, to do this review is going to cost extra money and so on, that's not the case, because, like I said, if they're not auditing Nalcor, they're auditing something else. So there's no extra cost, and it's just about making this a priority that I believe it should be, and it is with the people.
All right. Good to have you on, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you, and I encourage everyone to contact the Auditor General's office. Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
All right, that was Paul Lane, independent MHA from the Mount Pearl area, and you heard his plea. If you're interested in this issue and you want to see Nalcor audited by the Auditor General, follow Paul's advice.